Most home buyers in Ottawa make at least one mistake when purchasing a property. Sometimes that mistake costs them tens of thousands of dollars. But the interesting part is that many buyers don't realize that they're making this mistake until years later. And after working with buyers in Ottawa for many years, I've seen the same mistakes repeat over and over again. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 7 costly mistakes Ottawa home buyers make, and of course, how to avoid them. So if you're new to the channel, well, welcome. And if you're not new, well, welcome back. My name is Mark Belanger, and I work with buyers, sellers, and investors who want to build long-term wealth through real estate. And on this channel, we focus on strategy, market insight, and a long-term view so that you can make smarter real estate decisions. Because buying a home isn't just about the property, it's about making decisions today that support your long-term financial future. One of the biggest mistakes I see buyers make is trying to perfectly time the housing market. I recently spoke with a buyer who had been waiting for almost a year, and their plan was pretty simple. Wait for prices to drop, wait for interest rates to improve, and then buy. But the real estate markets rarely move in perfect straight lines. Sometimes interest rates drop and demand increases immediately, and other times prices stabilize instead of falling. And sometimes buyers who wait find themselves facing more competition and higher prices later. Most people who build wealth through real estate focus less on timing the market and more on time in the market. I say it all the time. I'm not the first one to say it. There's a lot of smart people who say the exact same thing. And it's just like investments. It's just like stocks. Get in the market. Don't overcomplicate it. Sit back and relax. If you can afford the down payment, you can afford the lifestyle, and things are good that fit your personal situation, then time in the market is the best solution. Another mistake buyers make is assuming that they need to buy their dream home immediately. But real estate ownership usually happens in stages. What I call the real estate wealth journey, and I've talked about it and it's on my website. Many homeowners start with a condo, then they graduate to a townhouse, and then they graduate to a fully detached home. They build equity over time and they upgrade later, and they look at it more like a journey or like a challenge, if you will. So trying to skip that first step can sometimes delay entering into the market entirely. Not only that, you're going to have a bad experience if obviously you stretch yourself out and you overextend from a financial situation. So it's a really bad experience. I don't recommend it. Start small, get a good experience, live a little, build some equity, and then graduate up. Now, here's the mistake that quietly costs buyers the most money over time. Many buyers focus entirely on the house itself, but the neighborhood often matters even more. Some neighborhoods benefit from infrastructure investment, population growth, redevelopment, and demographic shifts. These micro-level trends can significantly influence long-term appreciation. Two homes that cost the same today can produce very different financial outcomes over time, depending on where they're located. Understanding both the macro market trends and the neighborhood level dynamics helps stack the probabilities in your favor. Real estate isn't about predicting the future perfectly. It's about making decisions with the best available information. That's why, again, on my website, at the neighborhood level, we can dissect at the neighborhood level, plus stack on top of that all of the macro level Ottawa basic information that you're going to need. Then we're going to try to follow some of the investments, the population growth, the redevelopment projects, and so on. We can pinpoint the neighborhoods that outrank other neighborhoods, and we can quantify that. So again, if you're on the fence between two different neighborhoods, we would look at it from that lens, and maybe that would tip the scales from a long-term investment perspective. Another mistake that buyers make, and I see this all the time, it's actually pretty painful, is stretching financially to buy the most expensive property that they actually qualify for. And just because the bank says you can borrow a certain amount of money doesn't necessarily mean it's the best decision. Owning a home also comes with property taxes, maintenance, repairs, and of course, all of this is typically unexpected expenses. So leaving room in your budget often creates much healthier long-term financial situation. As a parent, and all the parents out there, there's always something. The kids' sports, the kids' school, something around the house, family, friends, you name it, it's always unexpected. So leave a little room, live within your means. You'll be happier for it in the long run. Trust me, everyone goes down this road. Just do yourself a favor. Another very common mistake, I see this all the time, is focusing only on the actual purchase price. They get pre-qualified for a specific amount and then they purchase right up to that specific amount. But there are several additional costs involved when buying a home. And these can include closing costs, legal fees, inspections, moving expenses, and potential condo fees. So understanding the full financial picture ahead of time helps prevent these specific surprises. And again, that's why I always encourage, have a consultation call. Let's book a 20-minute call. Let's map out your strategies. Of course, that's important, but let's walk through what you can expect. Sometimes just hearing that, writing it down, giving you some percentages and some budgets, like typical budgets and that kind of thing, will really, really help you. Then lower your budget when you're going to purchase a home by that amount, by that delta, and you're still within the qualified amount at the bank. So understanding the big picture, the processes, what you can expect, and then working it backwards is obviously the best way. Some buyers try to navigate the entire process on their own, and that's fine. But buying real estate involves a number of important decisions along the way. Mortgage structure, neighborhood selection, market timing, and working with experienced professionals can help buyers avoid costly mistakes and make more informed decisions. And not only that, we have referrals that can help you at every step along the way, should you need it. You need a lawyer, you need an inspector, you need somebody to help you through this entire process, because the truth is, you really only have two choices as a buyer. You can work with a realtor who is licensed, who knows the process, or you do it all on your own. Those are the only two choices that you have. And of course, working with a realtor, it typically doesn't cost you a dime. That cost is paid for from the builder or from the seller side of the equation. So from a buyer's perspective, there's really no choice and there's really no downside to all of it. Get a qualified real estate agent, walk through all the math, help with filling the gaps. So if there's any referrals that are needed and so on, then do that and work with the team that has all of the resources available to them, the paperwork, the marketing, everything else that you're going to need to make this decision. So that is really, really important in the big picture. All right. And last but not least, the final mistake might actually be the most important: buying real estate without a long-term plan. Real estate tends to work best when it fits into a broader strategy, and understanding your stage in the real estate wealth journey helps guide your specific decisions, because the goal isn't simply to buy a home. Your goal is building long-term financial stability through smart real estate decisions. Again, the readiness quiz. Let's chat. Let's just have a fresh perspective and try to map out not only where are you today, but where do you want to go in the next 5 and the next 10 years? Because that's the holistic picture we want to look at. Today might be a stepping stone for 5 years from now, or even for 10 years from now. Again, depending if you have kids, depending on what part of town you're in, and where are you on your financial journey. So I want to help you with all of that. That's why the readiness quiz is super important. Go to my website, markbelangerrealty.com. Take the 2-minute quiz, gives you a different perspective mentally, and then let's book a 20-minute or a half an hour consultation call. Let's just chat about it. Let's just talk, and let's just see if I can help you through this real estate journey. So I hope that helps. I look forward to putting these videos together. And until the next video, stay smart, stay invested, I'll see you in the next video. Give me a shout if you have any questions or if I can help, and I'll see you again.